I'm really worried about these figures. I understand why they've been released, but at the moment, trust and confidence in policing is at an all-time low. And if there are people out there who need help, they may hesitate in picking that phone up and asking for help because of these figures. They're going to be wondering, am I going to get one of the good guys or am I going to get one of the bad ones? And that, to me, is a real worrying thought that comes out of this report.
It seems that with some of those high-profile cases we've been talking about recently as well, with David Carrick and Wayne Couzens, reputational damage to the police force right around the country, can that be repaired, do you think?
In time, I think that the reputation can be rebuilt, but certain steps have to be taken. And at the moment, you've got police officers investigating themselves. The complaints process is not independent. So 1 week, I could have been working with Wayne Couzens and Carrick and whoever else, and the following week, I could be part of the complaints department investigating them, having laughed at their jokes, having been complicit with their behaviours. So that, to me, doesn't sit right. And that the only way that any sort of reputation is going to be rebuilt is by having that independence and having that transparency. And the majority of police officers are good people. They are there for the right reasons. There's a minority of individuals who are letting police officers down. They need to be removed, and they need to be removed quickly. One of the other things that came out of this report was they are encouraging chief officers to have faster misconduct processes. Well, that encouraging isn't enough. It should be an order to say you will highlight these individuals and you will put them in front of the misconduct boards as quickly as you possibly can.
Parm, let me read you some of the messages we were getting tonight, and some of them are really concerning as well. Jane from Norwich has got in contact. The police are meant to make us feel safe, but the trust has gone. I know that all the police are not the same, the point that you're making, but how are we meant to trust them at all? Michael from Swansea, I think these revelations are just the tip of the iceberg, and all sections of the police department should be investigated. Same point being made by Julie from Eastbourne. I didn't trust the police before, now I trust them even less. Robert from Aberdeen, thank you, Robert. It's shocking to learn how many police officers could behave in such a manner. They're meant to be protecting us. And Claire from Colchester, I do not feel safe as a woman. With all the stories in the headlines lately regarding police officers' behaviour, it's very scary that they can use their power in this way. Can I ask you, Parm, you know, we've spoken on this subject before. As a woman in the force, how did you feel then, and how do you feel looking back at that force now?
I'm really saddened by the comments that you've just read out, and I'm saddened that policing has come to where it is. I loved being a police officer, very proud that I was a police officer, and I would still encourage people to join the police service because you can make a difference and you can be there for the right reasons. However, I do feel that action needs to be taken and some reform needs to be had so that police service can be reflective and can actually learn from the mistakes that have happened. And I think until that learning takes place, until that activity takes place, there needs to be a safe environment for people to whistleblow. And one of the comments in this report is that 7 out of 10 complaints made by colleagues about other people who work with them were discarded. There was no action taken. It takes a lot of courage for a police officer to give evidence against one of the colleagues. And those people are not being looked after. Members of the public are not being looked after. There's no safe environment for these individuals to stand tall. And they've already been brave enough to call out the behaviour, but to be supported through the criminal processes.
And briefly, Parm, you're confident that culture can change, though?
I am, and I really would. My last word would be, if you need help, please pick up the phone. Don't be put off by these individuals who shouldn't be in policing.